Welcome to Long Lost Brothers, the podcast devoted to fitness, friendship, and the overall acquisition of betterment. My name is Brett Scott.
And I'm Jesse Cole.
And we are the Long Lost Brothers.
Indeed. Jesse, welcome.
What's up, man?
I'm just busted up, dude. It's been quite the adventure of a week between the Sixth Sense Long Lost Brothers challenge, and then I ran, I think 20 miles, but due to technical difficulties, I don't have the exact tracking, but I ran about 20 miles 2 days after that challenge, so.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. What did you think of the, let's go ahead and get into it. What did you think of the Sixth Sense challenge?
Dude, that was a motherfucker. Okay, so last week I was like, all confident, like I was going to be able to go to this CrossFit gym and just pay a day thing. And I had like this shitstorm of a week kind of, just trying to get the homeschooling stuff figured out. And, just life happened. And I never even contacted dude about doing this thing. So Thursday after work, I was having some, I was just like, I got to get this challenge knocked out right now. And anyway, so I go over to this field where I'm like, man, I'm going to just go find me some monkey bars, right? And just do these pull-ups real quick. Did not in sight was there one fucking monkey bar that was anything relative to it. So there's a school field that's usually locked that there wasn't. So there's a goalpost for the soccer field.
Yeah.
So it was me and my roommate was like, man, I think this is the closest we're gonna get, but it's like it's like a rectangular pipe, right?
Yeah, and it's fat, right?
Yeah. So every time me and Joe would go up, it would start rocking back and forth too. So it made all the and so I was planning on doing like CrossFit cheater pull-ups. I kind of did most of them that way, but it was not conducive because there was so much flex on it when you move it. So, dude, anyway,
was it like plastic? Was it one of those plastic?
No, I would have broke it. I weigh too much. No, it was metal, but it was just not made for 280-pound dudes swinging on it, right?
Right.
So anyway, it took me about an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, and then I don't know. I posted this me doing some snatch videos, right? Maybe a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so my shoulder was kind of banged up, and I was like, and I remember I was talking to you about that, and you're like, oh, we can postpone. I was like, no, come on, I'm a tough guy, I can do it. This morning was the first day I could put both my arms above my head. Like, it was rough, dude. So did that workout fucking me up pretty good?
Yeah, dude, I told you. Yeah, so the audience knows. I made it very clear that we could just postpone this thing. We'll do something else. We don't have to do it. I don't want anyone to get injured. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want you to do it if you didn't feel comfortable doing it yet right now. Because I know that you're training like a motherfucker for the marathon. And I'm an asshole for even thinking of this challenge. I don't know what I was thinking. I just, I started, I'm like, all right, 100 pull-ups. And then I was like, I just got carried away. I'm like, all right, if we can do 100 pull-ups, then we can do 100 push-ups. That's easy. Then I'm like, well, I mean, if we do 100 lunges, it's not like doing like a lap of lunges, so it's not that much.
Well, the initial, okay, so I haven't actually worked out like at a CrossFit gym in quite some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I was experiencing, and this workout is very much like a CrossFit workout.
For sure,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I busted it up like a CrossFit workout, like I would a Murph, right? Like, so we did 10 of each movement.
Yeah.
Right, and then I throw down pennies, so I keep count. So there's 10 pennies. When all the 10 pennies are moved from one pile to the next pile, that's done. You start running. Okay. Right. So Joey has been doing CrossFit this whole time, and I've been running this whole time, right? So in any CrossFit competition, Joey kicks my ass every time. He's just made for it. Like, he's like 5'8", 170 pounds. That's like all the great CrossFit people, that's like their build. He's lean. He do a lot of pull-ups really fast. You know, like he's great at CrossFit. But so he's smashing me. Like, you know, I can do push-ups with him all day. You know, the air squats, I can do those all day. Like, you know, like those are basic movements that I can kill. But pull-ups are like my bane, right? Like, I'm not good at it. So that's something that this workout really exposed for me, is that I need to do more pull-ups for sure.
Right.
Anyway, so I was cut to the chase. I got on that. Joey was struggling with the run because he doesn't really run. So he beat me, but he was like kind of walking some of the run. But I ran the whole run, like, you know, I think like I averaged like 9.5, 10-minute miles. I don't know. It's on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I posted all those like metrics and stuff. But yeah. So that workout was pretty intense. And so what did you think of it? How did you feel?
It fucking, like, it kicked my ass. Like, it didn't fuck me up in the same way that, like, Dolph Lundgren did, where I was, like, just wrecked for a week, but
yeah,
it, like, my lats are still sore from pull-ups right now.
Oh, yeah, same.
And, like my legs, my chest a little bit sore, my legs are a little bit, like, my hamstrings are a little bit tight, but, the workout itself, it felt good. I mean, to be honest, it felt like I hadn't pushed myself in a while. Like, the last time I did a hard, like, lots of reps, calisthenics, and then a run as well, you know, all in one workout, like a CrossFit type workout.
Yeah.
Was probably a little while ago. Like, it was probably a month or two ago, and it just felt good to push, like, to push.
Well, that's how Joe described it too. He was like, "Man, I needed my ass kicked," and I was like, "Yeah, that's a very good way to describe it." It's like, it's definitely kicking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay.
I felt really good though. Like, afterwards, I felt really accomplished. Like, hell yeah! Like, that was a bunch of shit I just knocked out.
Well, and I was good, but my left shoulder, is like started hurting a little bit, and then it's like I've been having like a little nag in it, and then like I bench pressed for the first time, like, you know, I did a snatch and I felt it oh, that didn't feel good, you know, when I threw up, like it wasn't even a heavy snatch, but I threw it up and I felt like a little like, oh, that's not good. So I was like, but, you know, whatever, I'm doing all these crazy things all the time, but then I failed to realize that I am constantly doing crazy things. But, you know, I didn't think anything of it, and I'm bench pressing, didn't hurt, but he's like, oh, man, I should probably slow down on any kind of pressing for a little bit. So I get to, so that he's doing these pulls, I'm like, oh, my God, this really hurts. You know? Right, and then, so I started getting into these push-ups, and my shoulder's, like, blowing up. And so I had to, like, because, like, when I had shoulder problems in the past, or when I'm bench pressing, I'll just do, like, a closed grip, so it's just all tricep, right? And so I was kind of doing that with my push-ups. Yeah. So anyway, my both of my shoulders are super sore. Like, so anyway, Saturday is my long run, and that I do for this marathon training block, and I decided to just kind of circumvent the 18 miles and just go for the 20 because honestly, this whole training block is kind of tearing my body up pretty hard. Yeah. And I'm just kind of over it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of just taking so much time away from my family because it's like after you run these like extremely long runs, it's just not really worth the shit the rest of the day. Like, I was wrecked yesterday, so I thought I'm gonna run 20 miles, and then I don't know why I always gotta get a hair on my ass on the worst possible day, but it's like, man, my shoulders, like, I could not, like, I had an itch on my back and I could not reach it, and like I couldn't lift my arms like over my head, and so I set out on this run, and like I could not sleep the night before. Like, dude, like Cobra Kai kept me up. I don't know. I had like anyway, whatever. I'm gonna give you 400 excuses why this run sucked, but I got a whole list. I've been writing them all week in preparation for the podcast, but
right.
So anyway, dude, I ran to butt fuck to Egypt and back, and yeah, dude, hating life. Today is like Like my shoulders are finally like healing up from the Sixth Sense. Like I could lift both my arms above my head for the first time in a couple of days. It was like I've been sleeping like shit because my shoulder, like I'm a side sleeper, you know. So like anyway, but so that's kind of what's been going on like with me as far as training. So like
you decided then, like it's kind of a big decision here. Like you decided that you're going to how long do you have left of your marathon training?
Okay, so now it was supposed to go 18 and then another week of building up to 20, and I just kind of fucking said, fuck the 18, let's go to 20, and I'm going to deload. It's going to be like tomorrow run 5, rest 8, 5, rest 9, and it does that again with the but on the Saturday be at 8. And then it's just like a 3-mile run, a 2-mile walk, and then you run the big ones. I got like 3 weeks left now, and it's on the deload end of it. Okay. So this is like the last big run before the big run, right?
So you basically just shortened your training by about a week.
Yeah, because I don't know, kind of like I feel like my left knee things aren't going great with my left knee. Yeah. And yeah, basically the whole left side of my body's kind of beat up. So
you need to knock this thing out. I mean, really.
Yeah.
You need to be done with this damn thing.
Yeah, I think it's time to put that baby to bed. Like, I don't want to quit running, but I don't want to do these runs that are just ripping me the hell apart. And like, I slept like shit. So like, I got up and then like, I tried to pound as much water as I could and get as much sugar in me as I could. I don't remember what I ate, but I ate some kind of crappy carbs to try and just get as much sugar. I ate like a bowl of cereal the night before too, just trying to put a bunch of gas in the tank. And I did that, and it's like, man, this running's like kind of like it's becoming detrimental to my all around well being at this point. So like I'm ready to get back into like, you know, eating primarily just red meat and you know what, I did eat something really good though. My buddy gave me some ground elk, and I made like this stuff called like monster mash. It's what like Stan Efforting mix, where it's like some kind of lean red meat ground up with, and then you cook rice and you put that together with some bone broth. Yeah. So that was really good. I did eat that, and I ate the shit out of that. So that did actually load me up with some like good food. But yeah. So anyway, all this running's fucking me up is the moral of the story.
So you're just going to shorten the training. You're still going to complete the marathon, which is the ultimate goal. And then you're going to put this thing to bed and get back to some more like traditional training, so you're not fucking up your body and fucking up your family life and all that. Like once a workout routine starts to become detrimental to your personal life, like it's not serving you anymore. You don't want something like that.
No one's paying me to do fitness, right? It's like so my plan. Okay, so I'm gonna knock this out in the next 3 weeks, and then I'm coming up with a more comprehensive plan moving forward, where I want to get strong again, but I don't want to get fat. And so I'm kind of working on like this like kind of hybrid idea, right? Where I'm incorporating some mobility, some strength, and keeping, you know, probably like 10 to 15 miles of running sprinkled in the workout through the week. But I joined this powerlifting gym here. Not everybody there is a power lifter, but they got, you know, all the good shit. Yeah. All the fun toys. So I'm gonna start, you know, doing some squats and some deadlifts and some bench press, and then and I'm gonna start doing pull-ups. I decided, like, man.
Yeah, that's good. You should look into that Nick Bear routine.
Right.
That Nick Bear routine is pretty much that. I mean, it's like mixing strength with mobility and running, like a little bit of everything. But I mean, you could do it and just kind of modify it. But look at it as a template, maybe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like not follow exactly what it is or anything, but just take a look at how that shit's structured. Because I was looking into it. It looks pretty good. There's like, he's got an app on there, or he's got a template for all body weight like at home shit for people, and then he's also got a like actual going to the gym, lifting, you know, becoming stronger, endurance, running, bodybuilding, kind of all mixed in.
What would be dope is to squat 405 and then be able to run a sub 2 hour half marathon. That'd be a fun thing to be able to do.
Yeah, after getting into running like this, I've kind of decided that I always want to be in good enough shape that if someone dropped it on me, we're like, hey man, come run this half marathon with me this week, that I could do it. You know what I mean? Like, like, all right, I'll do it. Cool, man, I'll be there.
Yeah, because I haven't set out to run a half marathon for time, but I'm averaging like usually I'll try to look down at my watch when it's about at the half marathon. And I'm right there at about 2 hours to 11 in that range. So it's like, if I was like, that's the end of the goal, I could like, you know, like I'm looking at my distance, or I can see a finish line or I know the finish line is within a mile and I need to press hard, you know, like I need to give myself like to carry the boat speech to get going or whatever. You know, I could turn it on because the one thing that has been cool about running these long ass runs is I can still put on a surge at like 10 miles. I can still like turn it up and go faster if I need to.
There's something about it, man. Like there's something about those endurance runs, those long runs that like, because you know you're extremely pacing yourself because you know you got 15, 20 miles, whatever it is to go. But there's something about it where it also like it fuels that, like you get to the end and you've got something left, and it's surprising that you have something left after running 15 miles or whatever. You can sprint a whole mile at the end, you know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy. You're almost in this other world. You're like in this zone. You're
man,
it's crazy.
It was extremely hot for this area. It was like when I was running, it was like I got a late start. I started at 10 o'clock, and it's usually like if I'm out the door later than like 7:30, it's bad news.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get warm.
Yeah, and so I'm at like mile 15. I drank both my little water bottles that come on my little fanny pack or whatever, and man, I had been seeing like, you know, my little Fitbit notifications telling me that you know, text messages, but I always ignore that shit when I'm running. And so I see my car with my wife in it, and I'm at like mile 15, and it was a sight for sore eyes. She brought me this cold ass bottle of water. Oh, nice. I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, man, and I gotta say this, like, you know, I know that it irritates my wife because this running takes up so much. You know, it's like, it's a lot, right? Yeah. It's like the 4 hours I do it, I come home and I'm just tore back and, you know, kind of useless for a little while. Well, it took like 3 hours, but, you know, it's like the whole morning and then me recovering and then, you know, getting my shit together enough to, and then I'm just a crippled ass man for the day or two after, right?
Yeah, I went through the same shit. My wife hated it, especially when I'm like, oh, I got a long run today. She's like, God damn, how long is this going to take? I'm like, about two to three. Like, she's like, Jesus Christ. Like, why are you doing this? You know what I mean? But,
yeah, my sister posted a meme and tagged me. She said, do people that run marathons know that they don't have to do that?
That's it, man.
I'm like, yeah. That's so, perfect. You know, yeah, I got one more big one, and then it's just, I was like, you know, I'm trying to tell her, like, look, there's just one more big one, and then it's over, right? And she was like, yeah, and then it's going to be the gym, and then it's going to be you're trying to squat this, or she's like, I know. You know, she knows me, you know. But
it's tough, man. It's tough to be with somebody who, like, constantly has to improve. You know what I mean?
It's like I need
boundaries.
I need a new thing to put, you know, I need a new set of antlers to put on the wall sometimes, you know? And but I think with this hybrid, it'll keep me away from obsessing about a goal. Like it's not like I'm gonna squat this heaviest weight or I'm gonna run this thing. It's like it's just gonna be a wellness kind of thing, you know, where it's like pretty freaking strong, and I can still run and still have my little 4-pack, you know.
I think that's the best. That's the best route, man.
Yeah, and it's like CrossFit's cool, but it's like that. The workouts is, for me, is like I always end up getting hurt because it's like I'm a competitive person, you know. So it's like if it's like, oh, it's for time, well, let's see what these boys got, you know.
Right.
Or let's see what I got, you know. And I don't think that that's good to be like in constant competition, because then in competition is when you really turn it up and you can get hurt.
Yeah, well, if you're competing every single day, then there's no practice. You know what I mean? It's mostly just you're turning it on full strength, and you're risking injuries. Just like when you go and you actually compete. Say you do train for 16, 20 weeks for something, and then you go compete one day. You know what I mean? You don't compete fucking 30 days a month or even 15 days a month. You know?
Well, yeah, and it's like I mean, I've had some good ass results working out CrossFit gyms, and that type of training is good if you can be in the mindset of this is training, you know. But it's but if you get like me and Joe and my buddy Aaron, you know, we're all trying to like be the winner, you know. Right. So you know, that was kind of our little crew. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, and especially when you mix weights in with a competition like that, like doing stuff for time and how many reps you can do in a certain amount, like that's where it gets dangerous. You know what I mean? It's
similar to like Westside Barbell, like conjugate training. Okay, and I did that for a long time, and it's like I got pretty banged up doing that, because it's like you're doing speed work, then you're doing a modification, but it's still a 1 rep max. Like it'll be like 1 rep max of box squat with chains, right, or bands, or whatever, you know, whatever kind of weird thing it is, like the camber bar squat maximal effort, right? And it's like, it's fun because you get that instant gratification and you feel like you're competing, you know. But you know, but yeah, it's a fucking meat grinder,
right?
So
all right,
anyway,
switching gears here. What did you think? See, no, not the book yet. What did you think of Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai. Okay, so like all good shows, first season, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Second season, buddy, getting a little cheesy. Tori kind of, you know, I mean, Tori's cool. I like her, like, you know, she's cool, but it's like, so she has a few kickboxing lessons, but she can like fucking, you know, do like super advanced like ninja shit just like on her first day. Like, okay. she's like Rey in Star Wars. Right.
So it's just like you get a little bit of training, and it's like, oh shit, she's a superstar now.
Yeah, and like, okay, so it's good. I like it. You know, I mean, overall, yeah. Like, I mean, I just finished it 2 nights ago. Stayed up way too late watching it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm in. I'm ready for season 3. They still got me on the hook. Like usually it's like every show that goes more than, I've said this before, after season 2 of almost any show, short of an HBO series, I'm checking out. You know, like
yeah.
So
HBO had some good ones, and AMC had some good ones. And
like with The Walking Dead, after season 3, I was done. I was like, no.
But like Breaking Bad, every fucking season is dope, dude. Like there's no bad season. Like that's
The Sopranos. You know, you can watch that all with Game of Thrones. Like with the exception of season 8.
Right. I think like Breaking Bad and Sopranos, like bar none, like some of the best shows ever fucking made, dude.
Yeah, because you can just watch it, and it's like so many different things. But it's like how far can you go into, you know, Cobra Kai? Like, I mean,
right.
Like okay, so Mickey's got his neck broken now. Is that what it was, or he's tore back?
His back broken, yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing next season is gonna be. He'll pull out of the coma first thing, right?
He'll be recovering. That'll be like the thing of the season, like the struggle with recovering.
Yeah, and then Johnny and Daniel are gonna try to become friends to fight Kreese.
Right.
And I'm trying to, and then I read somewhere that Mr. Miyagi was hiding some dark secret from Daniel-san.
What?
And Yeah, so I mean, we're just predicting it. All that is just predictions based on other shows that I've seen.
Right.
Right, like The Flash, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like The Flash is fucking the whole thing. No, he lost. He's in this other dimension forever.
Yeah. I remember that. In season 2, he goes into the Speed Force, and then I remember you and I were talking about it. You're like, I bet you, look, dude, season 3. How many? You said to me, you said, how many episodes do you think it will be before Barry gets out of the Speed Force? I'm like, probably the first one.
Yeah, and it was like the first thing to happen. Yeah. I mean, he's the Flash. It's kind of what are you gonna do with the show without him, right?
Right. But yeah, I agree with you. Season 1 was better than season 2 because I mean it was just brand new. It was like this nostalgic fucking journey, and it was great because it was our like when something first gives you a new idea, it's exciting. You know what I mean? But like season 2, we already get it. Johnny, he ain't that bad of a dude. You know what I mean? He's actually kind of likable in a way. And you know,
I saw this thing a long time ago where it's like, it's like they fast forward and just made all these certain cuts where it made Daniel look like the asshole through that, and they kind of played on that. I was like,
they did.
Yeah, he came and sold his girlfriend, beat him up.
They did. I think they even said that, like, some behind the scenes shit. They were talking about, they actually did kind of get the idea from that, like, you know, doing a spin on it, like, where Johnny's perspective, where it's like, man, this fucking new kid comes into town, fucking tries to make a fool of me, steals my girl, beats me up in front of everyone.
Joined in the bathroom with my friends, and he fucking pours water on me at the fucking Halloween costume party.
Yeah,
like,
man, and then he beats me with a fucking bunk-ass fucking crane kick, which is illegal as shit.
Right.
Like, then you start to really feel it. For Johnny, you're like, you know what? I mean, he was kind of a bully motherfucker, but at the same time, Daniel was a little, kind of like a little prick, dude. Like, you know,
okay, so my biggest letdown, I gotta say, season 2 was Hawk getting beat up by his name Dimitri.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Hawk is like the monster. Like he's supposed to be like the other Cobra Kai badass, right? Yeah,
Hawk's badass. I love when he first came out with the Hawk in season 1. That was great.
Yeah, right. And then he's like likable then, but now he's like Kreese's like little fuckboy. So
yeah,
that's gonna be season 3. The arc is gonna be Miguel. I don't think Miguel's gonna be like one of the tough guy fighters anymore. I think he's gonna be like some kind of like project with the emotional side of Johnny, and then I think
and he'll probably try to I bet you he tries to bring Hawk back to the fuck, you know what I mean, like back from the brink of being a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, cause dude, like, yeah, Hawk's got some issues. He's just in it to kill now.
Yeah,
I was like, damn. I mean, you know, it's like, he's on some like fucking like they're lucky he found karate because he's about to shoot that school up.
Right. You're lying, dude.
Like, use his hands instead of a fucking, you know, wink at me if you bring in an AK.
Right. Thank God Hawk found martial arts when he did.
Yeah, because he was about to Columbine that school.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not even like.
All right. Can we shift gears to the book? You good with that?
Yeah,
all
the book. Okay.
So we're reading No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert A. Glover, and Jesse and I have both dug into it a little bit. I don't know if you basically blazed through it on your run yesterday.
But, that was actually I listened to part of it, and then I was like, side note real quick before we dig in the book.
Okay.
I realized when I'm running, if I want to be fast, I have to listen to music. If I want to listen to books, I need to be on just a training, like a slow run.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, skip through that. So yeah, my main takeaway, like I'm like really, I've listened to the first chapter a couple times now.
Were you as triggered as I was by the first introduction to this book?
Yeah, I was like, you know, some of it applies to me, I would say, where he's talking about like, you know, being 180 degrees from your father and you villainizing your father kind of thing, you know, and it's like, yeah, I mean, you know, I love my dad, don't get me wrong, but my dad's a a little bit of a psycho.
Mm.
You know, he's done some crazy things, and you know, he's got some compulsive issues, and you know, but you know, whatever. You know, he's doing the best he can. You know, life doesn't come with a guidebook, right?
Right.
So, anyway, yeah, I was kind of figured. I was like, milk toast. What do they call it? Milk toast Mel or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was like, I'm not a bad guy, but like, some of the stuff about constantly saying yes to things that you don't really want to do, or you know, doing anything to make sure that everybody else is happy above yourself, not putting your priorities as your priorities and making them secondary to other people.
I think one of the big things I took away from it too was of that part. It was the fact that kind of deep down you are giving to get a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it because you want to feel good about doing it. Like it's not necessarily like you really like need that person to be happy, but you want them to view you as someone that can help them, or a good guy, or you know, just
it's more egocentric than it is altruistic.
Right. And I feel that a lot, man. Like I think about the stuff that I do sometimes, like, does that really benefit the person that I'm doing it for when I do it? Like, no, not really. It's just kind of making me feel good about being able to say, like, oh, I did that. I helped somebody out. You know what I mean?
So this is this thing I do where anytime I get $1 bills, I leave them in my center console. Don't come rob my house. There's a disclaimer: I will beat your ass if you come to my house. Say, I'm going to get in my car, I will beat you up. Okay. So
Jesse's car is full of ones, everybody.
No, this is like, you know, but like, you know, because I really feel like I should give those to people that are flying signs, because regardless of what they're going to spend them on, that dollar is going to benefit their day much more than it is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just something I do, but and it's like I never really try not to really talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm talking about it on podcasts now, but it's because it's like as soon as you give that away or you talk about it, you give away the altruism from it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because then it's feeding the ego.
For sure.
Right? Okay, so I just said that to say that. So it's like I still get my good guy points for giving money to poor people, right?
I think too, though, a lot of the thing about what this guy's talking about with this nice guy syndrome is like you don't necessarily have to have others view you that way, but you want to view yourself as a good person. So you'll do things that feed that. That it's like, oh, well, I'm a good person because I do these things, or I'm a good person because I always say yes, or I'm always there for whoever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he says it's all about like cultivating an image and not being your true self, right?
Right.
Like Hawk, right?
Right.
Like
and it doesn't seem like it has to be an image even to the outside world. It's just like what you were raised to believe was a good guy or a good thing or whatever. You know what I mean? You want to portray that. You want to think of yourself as that. So
right. You want to maintain an identity as such.
Right. So, the book, it seems like what it's supposed to do going forward after this introduction and everything and talking about the nice guy syndrome is it's going to tell you how to start changing a little bit, how to start kind of saying, you know what, I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? Sometimes just being honest instead of doing what you think you're supposed to or what will make you look good.
Yeah, and there was a takeaway that I have actually applied from this book is like, you know, just communicating things a little differently and being like, and realizing that you don't have to solve every problem for your family and everybody in your immediate circle of friends.
Yeah.
You know, it's not your job to fix every problem, you know?
Yeah. Another thing about the nice guy syndrome, it seems like, is feeling bad when you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't fix everything, then you feel like you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, like I always feel bad when I say no to anybody.
Right.
You know, like, it's weird. Like, I have a definite problem with that. Like, I always want to be, like, the nicest guy doing, like, all the extra stuff, no matter how much it takes away from me, you know? Like, I'm not going to go into detail, but it's like I have friends that sometimes have taken advantage of that, and they know that I'm, like, super nice and, like, you know, bend over backwards for them, so they'll bend me over backwards, you know? And, you know, and instead of being confrontational about it, I just kind of, you know, cut them off, just You know, I just don't want to talk to this person anymore.
Right. That's a thing I struggle with too, is like avoiding confrontation. Like when it comes, especially when it comes to like my family and stuff, like my immediate family, not like my wife and kids so much, but like my parents, extended family like that. Like I try to avoid, you know, altercations. I try to avoid arguments. So sometimes that means completely ignoring, you know.
Yeah, just letting it go.
Yeah, and it's like I'd be much more better served if I just spoke up for myself and said, like, look, I don't want to do that, or look, that ain't right, or whatever, you know what I mean? Right.
And it's weird because I'm like, with me, it's not really like a 50-50. It's like, you know, okay, well, I'll just give this little, recently, my little brother, you know, he's somewhat vulnerable, and these drug addict individuals are taking advantage of the situation, and I felt the need to go correct that. Mm-hmm. Right? There's a lot to the story, but I went over there and made it very clear to these individuals that if they want to be trying to do this, that they're going to be spitting out their seat. Mm-hmm. But if the circumstance were different, where it's directly affecting me, like I don't have a problem. Like nobody's gonna come live at my house without, unbeknownst to me, or with me just like letting them come live at my house, right?
Right.
But my brother's not that guy. He's he's more of a person pleaser than I am. So mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, and he's like doesn't know, and this guy has like, you know, syringes and drugs and shit in my little brother's house who does not do drugs, right? Mm-hmm. So I freaked the fuck out because I'm not having that shit.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, I just let it be known. I'm like, dude, if you come in here, you're going to have a fucking problem, and I'm that fucking problem. I'll come bust your fucking head open. Mm-hmm. Right? So since then, nobody's been coming over there. Okay. But, yeah, because they're going to fuck around and find out. Right? So anyway, but I've had people do worse shit to me, way worse, and I'm just like, no, man, I love you, bro. It's all good, you know?
Right. Yes.
Right. So like, and I'm not gonna go into details because I'm doing shit on people like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's a nice guy thing about it is like,
you almost you let people shit on you sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't really want them to shit on other people, but like, I mean. But when it comes to you're just like, oh, I can take that shit, or oh, it don't affect me, oh, it ain't no big deal. Yeah, because I don't feel like, because you know, like I guess if we break it down, it's like I value myself less than that. Right. You know, like yes. You say something to my wife, mm-hmm. we got a problem. Right. You say something to Joey, oh, we got an issue. Mm-hmm. But you say something to me, I don't really care, whatever. It's just words, don't really hurt. You know, yeah. Like, you know, and. So you know, I guess that's the thing. So I guess that we'll see how this proceeds moving forward. You know, yeah. I am gonna immerse myself in that book to some extent. But with all these books, I think that it's important that we realize that also these are just theories of men, and they're not to get too indoctrinated in any of these. For sure. Because I've read so many self-help books, right? Yeah. And I'll dig my heels in them, or have in the past. Mm-hmm. So you got to take what applies and let the rest fly. Yeah, because you realize as soon as you hear another perspective, then you'll be like, oh wow, okay, now it's this, that all that shit I thought before was wrong. You know what I mean? And you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, like. Right. You want to hang on to what serves you and let the rest go, man. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, and there's value in most things, and you don't want to yeah, exactly. You just said it. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So, for sure. You're like, well, this part's horseshit, so the whole thing has to be horseshit. Right. But yeah. Like, even if you don't agree with the whole methodology of the guy, that's actually like a strong Buddhist way of thinking. Is, take what serves you and forget the rest. Like, don't condemn a whole thing just because one part of it's bad, or condemn. You might be able to find a small nugget of truth in something, or wisdom in something that appears like it's garbage.
Right. It's like if you're at a yard sale and there's a bunch of and you need a 10mm wrench. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of crap lousy wrenches, but there's a 10mm wrench that you still want to take that 10mm wrench that you got for 25 cents and throw it in the toolbox, right? But it was in a lot sale, so you had to buy the whole box for $5.
Yeah, you can use it, man. But you can use that one piece.
Right. I don't know if that was kind of
sure
for the metaphor, but
sure. All right, man. Moving on. What kind of challenge do you have for me this week?
Okay, so I was thinking it's like me and you have gotten into a serious pissing contest or dick measuring contest of trying to make harder workouts. Mm-hmm. So I put in neutral. Yeah. Bump the brakes a little bit.
I was going to back away this week. I honestly was after last week.
So put it in reverse a little bit, back up. Okay. So we're trying to acquire betterment. Okay. So this challenge is more of a daily thing. Okay. So in the time from now till we talk next, mm-hmm. you're going to spend 20 minutes every day stretching. I'm going to call it Stretch Armstrong.
Damn, okay.
I know, it's kind of lame, but
No, it's not, because it's something I don't do enough of.
Yeah, I don't do it at all. Okay. I stretch for 30 seconds before I'm going to run these 20 miles. Yep, I'm good to go. Yep.
20 minutes a day.
Yeah, and just whatever stretching you want to do, you can follow along YouTube of yoga, or you can just bend it, you can do whatever, however you do your stretching, just do that for 20 minutes, but you have to be dutiful about it. You have mm-hmm. to set a timer, and you have to really stretch your whole shit. Yep. And, okay, so I don't stretch it at all. That's one of my biggest problems. And, and my wife and Joey are constantly saying, dude, you need to stretch. My significant other was a cross-country runner in high school, mm-hmm. and I guess she's pretty badass. And she's like, dude, you do not stretch it at all. You're going to get hurt. And she is, like usual, pretty much right.
Look at you. You're all banged the fuck up now.
Yeah. And it's like, so there was a time when I thought I was going to have to quit lifting weights altogether because of my hip, right? Mm-hmm. My buddy Aaron Powers was like, check it out. You do this pigeon pose. It's a squat. I don't know. It's a yoga thing. Yeah. He's like, but you're going to take this green band. You're going to hook it on the cage, and then you're going to put it on the top of your thigh. So it's pulling your hip out, right? So I'm like, I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but I got like I'm bent over forward with my legs in front of me, so I'm stretching my hip, and then it's pulling out against the band, pulling my hip out. Anyway, I did that stretch every day for, I want to say, a month, but I did it. I just started stretching, and I went on to squat heavier and better for years after that. So
I had the same kind of experience, but with my marathon running. It was like my IT bands.
Yeah, same.
IT band would get super tight. My hips would be fucking on fire every time I ran. Yeah. And and then the next day I'd be like immobile, like after long runs. So I was like, I think I looked it up on YouTube or something, like the best way to stretch IT band. It was like, this whatever. I'm not going to describe the whole movement, but I started doing it and it changed my fucking world.
Right.
Yeah, stretching and mobility is crazy important for any physical endeavor, especially as you get older. Like, that's what I've noticed. When I was 20, I didn't stretch for shit. I didn't have to. I didn't need to. I recovered quick. I didn't fucking get tight. I didn't get sore.
Right. And
I'm 35. I got to stretch my ass out, man.
And me being like primarily at a desk job, and you being in a truck, like at the time, I was driving the deliveries, so it's like when you're sitting in a short, like if you're sitting down a lot of the day, you're sitting in you're shortening your hamstring, right? Yeah. So that's why me and you have those tight IT bands, because we're sitting in the squat all day. Yeah. I mean, not the actual squat, but like where our hamstrings are shortened, so they're tighter. As to where we're doing like.
And our upper body's bent over, and fucking our shoulders are slumped forward. Like, it's detrimental, dude. Primarily sitting, is so fucking detrimental to your body. It's crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
So, all right, stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, so sorry if anybody listening is disappointed in it not being like, I have one in my back pocket that's going to suck for all parties involved.
I honestly think it's a good challenge. I think it's good
I think this is more of a, like we're doing like fast breaks back to back to back. I think this is kind of a, let the point guard get in, slow the pace a little,
I think it's a good practice for discipline, though, man, especially since you made it a daily challenge. I think it's a good thing for discipline. I really do. Like discipline and, even mental toughness, man, because it's like, got to do something, even though clearly we don't really enjoy doing it that much.
I just feel like this could be time used running or lifting weights. Right. That's what my my meathead side says, but my old man is like, dude, I want to walk. I want to walk when I'm old. Please stretch.
Right.
Because it's like, I can feel my Achilles tendon like wrapping around the bone when I'm walking, like after a long run. So it's like, I need to stretch. And so I figured that would give me, this is kind of selfish because it give me a chance to heal up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it also, give us, as a collective of brothers to be able to, let's do that mobility work that we're constantly lacking on. And,
I can dig it, man. I can dig it.
So I definitely want to start working mobility into my training program, like scheduling that like I would like a bench press day, okay, so I'm gonna do this, then this, and I'm gonna have like that stretching scheduled in it. You know what I mean? Like that needs to be part of the regimen. Yeah,
I think mobility. I've even thought about working in like a yoga routine a few days a week or something.
Yeah, my wife sent me a little morning yoga thing. It starts with 5 minutes of meditation.
Right on.
Which is dope. So I've been getting into that a little bit.
We'll have to throw that into our fucking challenges too a little bit.
Yeah.
At some point, meditation challenge.
Dude, meditating is. Yeah, we'll say that for another episode.
For sure.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
That'd be a whole episode, man. We'll do a whole episode on meditation. For real.
Yeah. No, seriously. I've been utilizing different guided meditations for different various things for a while.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe next week will be a meditation centric episode.
Yes, let's delve in.
Okay, cool. All right, let's wrap this thing up. If anybody wants to follow us, we're at Long Lost Brothers _podcast on Instagram. You can find Jesse at Cole with a K on Instagram. You can find me at Real Brett Scott. And you can follow us on Facebook. We post all our episodes there. We post little motivational memes and shit like that. All kinds of stuff, man. You can chat us up there if you want to, comment on our post. That's just search Long Lost Brothers on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll talk at you again in a week.
All right.
Later.
See y'all later.